was a very frightful moment to see your community going up in flames. This neighborhood, Sherman Park, literally became a community under siege. It was like walking into the aftermath of a war zone. Saturday, August 13th, an African-American police officer shot and killed a 20-something African-American male.
My big brother, Seville Smith, was killed August 13th, 2016.
There was a crowd of youth and young adults that gathered in anger, in frustration, in hopelessness.
The community was basically fed up. They decided to start with the gas station, to burn it down.
Throughout that night, it just kept escalating, and eventually it erupted. I felt that I was this small and the problem was this big, and I felt a sense of hopelessness. The riot occurred on Saturday, August 13th, 2016. On August 11th and August 12th, 2016, I attended my very first Global Leadership Summit at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield, Wisconsin. I had my scholarship to go, and one of the greatest lessons I learned from the summit was that obedience could not wait. I could not wait for the right time. I could not wait for the heat to die down. I need to lead, follow, or get out of the way. That Sunday morning, I've got a few hours to mobilize our congregation so that we can be engaged in this situation. I began communicating to our leadership and using as many media means as I could. Park Lawn, we're having service tomorrow. We're going to walk to the riot area and we're going to clean it up.
He gathered faith leaders. He gathered people who lived in the neighborhood to start picking up the debris. He called for an end to the violence. And that's just an initial aftermath.
Bishop made a decision there. He says, you know what, Sunday night, potentially further riots and so on, we're gonna go down and we are gonna march down and we're gonna say, not on our watch, is this gonna happen?
I know that there was fear. If I come and help, am I gonna be safe? Am I gonna make it back home? And so they were looking to me to not show fear. And I think God literally did not take the fear away, but he gave us his grace and we did it scared.
So we walked down there. There's a group of Black Panthers basically holding down the key kind of corner entryway and right across from the BP station that had been burned to the ground. We came as ministers and they lined up and hugged us. And I remember this big burly guy is just in tears hugging me. And it wouldn't happen if Bishop Harvey hadn't done this.
He walks the streets without a gun. He believes in his faith, and I think that is great leadership to have in our community.
People who had been in other cities where riots had taken place said, we've never seen groups of churches so organized and ready to deal with something like this as we saw in Milwaukee, and that's really a result of his leadership.
The greatest thing that has happened through the tragedy is that the church now has been awakened and has left the building. We're not the church because we come to church. We are the church as we go. Mind you, this is not anything that we signed up for, that we were trained to do, but we're bringing about the change that we want to see.
The summit has always been this place that can kind of flip that switch for people to do what you're supposed to do.
I personally believe that the Leadership Summit prepared me mentally, emotionally, spiritually for not only that night, but for the days to come and even today. As I raise my level of leadership, the church's level of leadership will rise. And as churches begin to do that, we'll take the community with us. But we also need investors, people who will invest in leadership and who will invest in churches and in pastors and who will invest in the summit. I see the church continuing to walk hand in hand, black, white, red, yellow, brown, and that excites me. That gives me hope that God's hand is upon our city. Milwaukee is a city of destiny.